Hi everyone. So you're getting a very natural looking Betsy today. I'm still trying to get well. It's so funny. I was feeling so much better, and then after I did my master certification and got when you're doing your master certification for Reiki master certification, you get a lot of attunements in one day, and it was like purge central after that, after Sunday. So after I got better, I got worse again. And now I'm kind of like right in the middle of feeling better again. Thank you for everybody who has offered their advice on how to, for me to feel better. I appreciate everybody's advice because I know that you guys are just doing it out of love. I do have wonderful people taking good care of me, and I'm taking care of myself. So, yeah, thank you for all of that. Also, if you're waiting on a personal reading and I'm a few days behind, maybe more than a few days behind, I really appreciate your patience. I'm not trying to screw anybody over. I get sick like once or twice a year. So, and when I do, it takes like a month for me to get well. So anyway, I really appreciate everybody's patience. What I want to do is look at the energies from now until, let's say the 26th. I woke up this morning and so I'm going to be really stuffy, like my nose is still really clogged and my voice may go in and out because it's kind of froggy, okay? So anyway, just letting you know. I know, it's like, Betsy, just do the reading. Oh, since it is the Thanksgiving holiday, I am not taking any emergency readings until Monday the 26th. So part of that is so I can get well. Part of that is so I can enjoy my family. I just kind of need a break. And today's the last day that I will be doing personal readings. So if I am behind on readings and you don't get your reading today, I am actually behind on some readings. If you don't get your reading today, you will have it. I'll start doing readings again on Sunday. So I'm doing my best to get caught up, but I really have to preserve my energy. And I will email everybody, those who are still waiting on readings from me that don't get them today. So I want to talk about the energies that are going on, in particular the full moon, because it is tomorrow. Tomorrow is also my mom's birthday. I also have a client whose birthday it is, and she knows who I'm talking about. If she's watching, happy birthday tomorrow. I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving here in the States. Be very careful if you're on the road, please, because people have been kind of crazy. I've been talking to everybody. They're like, what is going on with the energy? And I know I didn't do an energy update earlier this week, but again, I've just been so ill. It's very, very interesting how this morning I woke up and there was like this heaviness that was released. And I think it's because the sun is, yes, we're still in Scorpio season today, but we're moving into Sagittarius. And the sun will be conjunct Jupiter. And it will be a much more freeing, you'll feel a little bit more free. You'll feel a little bit lighter than you have lately. So, and nothing against Scorpios, but Scorpio season, especially this season, because of all the Venus retrogrades, and we had the Mercury retrograde during the season. Mercury is in Sagittarius right now. It wasn't easy. It was not easy for anybody, really. Like, there wasn't anybody that I talked to that was like, oh yeah, I'm breezing right through. Maybe it was easy for some people, but I think the majority of us really felt it pretty hard. And I think it was a very purging time. I think that we all really decided that it was time to let go of some things and start rebuilding from the ground up. There were a lot of tower moments for a lot of people. So the energy is getting lighter. I did watch a video from Varush Astrology. If you don't watch her channel, she's amazing. She's an amazing astrologer, and she really gets in depth with what's going on with the asteroids and all the planets. I highly recommend watching her energy update for today. It's on her channel, Varouche Astrology, Tarot and Astrology, I think it's called. That may not be exactly it, but if you just search for Varouche, and I'll put the link to her channel in my description box below. She did an excellent job of explaining the lift that I felt this morning, because I was kind of surprised when I woke up because I wasn't feeling very good anyways. And I was like, wow, it's just easier to breathe, like in a very spiritual way, not even like physically, I'm still having a hard time breathing, but in a very spiritual way, it was just this lift of energy. So, because lately people have been insane. I almost got ran over a couple of times. I think it was Monday. I went to Whole Foods to get ingredients to make granola, because I'm kind of going through like this detox, and I'm also doing like a detox diet type thing. So just like soups and just really natural foods. And just going to Whole Foods on Monday, like in the middle of the day when usually nobody is there, it was insane. And I know it's Thanksgiving week, but I so did not expect that on Monday. It was like noon and I wasn't feeling well. And it was like, I literally felt like people were going to run over me if I didn't get out of their way. So, everybody was kind of extra during Scorpio season. And I think because Sagittarius is such an optimistic sign, or such an optimistic energy, just remember to conserve your energy right now. Because once we get into Sagittarius season, going from fixed water, you know, stagnant, still waters, we'll put it that way, it's not stagnant, but still waters, to mutable fire is going to be like the switch going off, or like the lightning strike, and you're going to want to get everything done yesterday. And especially because it is the holiday season, and you know, Black Friday's on Friday, so be very careful out there. Seriously. Like I almost wore my t-shirt. I'm actually planning on wearing it for one of the signs, but it says "for Fox's sake," because I literally say that all the time, F-O-X, Fox, but I use the other word. We all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, all right, I know, 7 minutes in. 7 minutes in. I know, Betsy talks a lot. If somebody wants to timestamp that, that's fine. But I think that there was some valuable information in there. So let's see what the energy is for now until Monday. Yeah, this is exactly. Everybody is on the move. Move. So there's going to be a lot of traveling. This is the Chariot card in the traditional tarot. So everybody's going to be traveling. Everybody's going to be on the move. Just be really, really cognizant of what you're doing, like where your place is. Don't overdo yourself. Make sure you're allowing yourself like space in between cars and stuff like that if you're driving. And be kind and considerate. Be kind and considerate, because kindness goes a long ways when other people are being assholes. Honestly, it's true. But the Chariot is a great card of destiny, of going in the right direction, of moving forward. And yes, I think that there is this sense of rushing and maybe not being so emotionally attached to things. The Seven of Swords for me is like that emotional detachment. Yes, I understand that some readers read it as deception, but it actually represents the moon in Aquarius. And when a person has their moon sign in Aquarius, they can detach emotionally for self-preservational purposes, not to hurt anyone. And it's not that they don't have emotions, because sometimes I think that they can feel guilty about having to detach from it, detach from situations. But that's a really, actually, I like having that card up, because everybody's not so emotionally charged right now. Everybody is kind of recognizing that the things they've had to leave behind, the energy is settling for that. And Now with the Chariot energy, they're ready to move forward, and they're ready to move forward onto their destiny. So I really like that card. Oh, I'm using the Golden Universal Tarot. I have a lot of people asking me what cards I'm using right now. And I love these cards because I have a really, really small hands. So I can actually hold these cards in my hands and like shuffle in a good way. So the Ten of Pentacles, yeah. And the Six of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is all about home, right? Everybody's going to be feeling very, very homebody, very comfortable, very grounded. And the Six of Pentacles is that give and take energy. There's a balance that's being restored. After Scorpio season, after having to detach yourself emotionally from all of the situations that you had to go through, now you are balancing things out because you walked away from all of that, right? Eight of Cups. I think people are starting to recognize that even though it was painful, it was necessary. And if you did have to walk away from somebody, I feel like they're kind of moving on too. They're sort of recognizing that they need to move on too. And not that, and it's so funny because everybody's like, well, I walked away from this person, but I want them to come back someday. Someday maybe they will. Maybe they will. But I feel like the lesson has been learned. And now it's time for you guys to learn the lessons. And this could be in business. This could be in family. This could be in friendships, right? This could be in a lot of, this could be in, you know, any kind of relationship. Then we have the Gemini full moon. So we have the Lovers card and the Sun. And I feel like the Gemini full moon is going to bring this clarity of what are Geminis? Geminis are some of the most fun individuals I have ever, like literally Geminis can have so much fun that I will stand back in a corner and watch Geminis like partying and be like, man, I really wish I could be that free. I wish I could be that freeing, you know, and they're so incredibly smart. So I feel like this Gemini full moon, even though it is a full moon, it's about releasing, but it's also about coming together, you know, and really allowing that the energy of patience and space. And yes, most Geminis I know are not patient, but with the full moon energy, oh, sorry, my phone was not on Do Not Disturb. That's interesting. I think the Gemini full moon is going to illuminate a lot of recognition of the things that you weren't resonating with, and how as you move forward, like walking away from what wasn't resonating with you anymore was a good thing, right? Like you can look at it as, okay, this is a growth period for me, and I don't have to feel guilty about it, and I don't have to feel bad, and this is a growth period for whoever I had to walk away from, or whatever. Doesn't even have to be a who, it could be a what, or a place, or, you know, pick an element. But it's bringing balance and clarity into your life, and it could have to do with a very heavy, serious relationship. But like I know that in the Gemini new moon, and I think I talked about this in the Gemini reading in June, or for the June Gemini reading, about setting your intentions of what you wanted to come to fruition by the Gemini full moon. And I remember some of the things that I wrote down and then burned during the Gemini new moon, and during like the ritual of it. But I don't remember all of it. And I know that some of it has come to fruition, but a lot of it was, I left space. Like I said in my intentions, I want to be shown what my full abundance and happiness and path is by the Gemini full moon. I want to know where I'm going, you know, where is my abundance going to be? And there were so many things that I had completed along the way that this full moon is now illuminating exactly where my path should be going from here on out. And so when we say like set your intentions for new moons and full moons, it's a very powerful process So I want you to kind of think back 6 months ago. What is it that what kind of intentions were you setting back then? And what do you want to see come to fruition during this full moon time? Because Jupiter conjunct the sun is such a beautiful energy, right? Jupiter and the sun will be in Sagittarius starting tomorrow. Well, technically starting on Friday. But the energy will be pulling that direction. So things are going to lighten up. And Jupiter being in Sagittarius for the next 13 months, and I'm going to talk about this more when I do the 2019 readings for each sign on what Jupiter in Sagittarius means for each of you. Also with the Cancer North Node. The North Node is now in Cancer. So yes, and Mars is in Pisces. So yes, we still have that water element there. But because the sun is illuminating this very auspicious and amazing planet, we can look at all of the things that are coming to fruition and all of the things that we had to let go of and all of the things that we're still kind of purging and releasing. Like I talked about, Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius is kind of that last final purge of 2018. What is it that you're still holding on to that you really, really need to release? Mercury is going to help with that. The Gemini full moon is going to help with that. Allow yourself to just be happy. Instead of being bogged down by the heavy energies of holding on to things that don't make you feel good. Because people ask me, well, how do you know when it's time to let go? I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions. Does it feel right? Does it feel good? Does it feel good? Are you giving more energy than the other party or the other situation is giving? Is it serving your highest good? Or are you being held back? Those are the 3 questions I want you to ask yourself. And if you say no, if you say, does it make me feel good? No. Let it go. It's time to release it. Give it to the universe and let the universe deal with it. I already forgot what the other 2. Does it serve my highest good? Am I giving my energy to it? More energy to it? If you say yes, I'm giving more energy than the other party is giving back to me, let it go. Release it. If a lot of people think that if we're not constantly helping others or we're not constantly there for others all the time, then we're just being selfish. If we're thinking of ourselves, if we're thinking of what we need in our lives, if we're thinking of taking better care of ourselves, then we're just being selfish. And that's not the outlook that we should have. Because in all reality, I'm no good to any of you if I'm not taking care of myself. And it took me a very long time for me to get there. That's why when I get sick like this and the personal reading length, or I'm late getting the general readings out or something like that, if I'm not taking care of myself, and I talk about this a lot on Instagram about taking care of myself and the things that you need to do, the quote, I put quotes up there and stuff. So if you're not a part of my Instagram, go check that out. Fearless Intuition 1111. I don't post every day, but I try to post often. But if you are not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be any good to anybody else. So I want you to think about that at this time. Because during the holiday season, oh, that's so good. I love hot tea. During the holiday season, it's a very giving time. And I want everybody to be able to give their time and give of themselves. But I don't want you to give so much of yourself that you forget to give back to you. And if you're constantly giving to people in situations that you never get any energy back from, or you never get any love back from, it's not okay, right? It's not okay. So we have the Knight of Swords on the 7 of Swords. So detach yourself emotionally from the chaos. Like, I know that a lot of people have crazy families, and during Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that time, it can be really, really nuts, especially, and this is kind of a Black Friday feeling also. Be very, very careful. Black Friday is like, you know, if you're not in the States, you don't really know what Black Friday is, but Black Friday is like when stores like super, super discount things, like 80% discounts on like really big ticket items like TVs and computers and all that. And people will line up like 3 or 4 hours before the store opens at 1 o'clock in the morning. I think they're actually having the stores open Thanksgiving night, which I really do not enjoy, but to each their own, whatever. I know everybody's trying to make a buck these days. Know your value. I feel like if there is a lot of chaos that's going on and it's kind of being directed at you, know your value, know your limits, know your boundaries. 7 of Wands, as I say boundaries, 7 of Wands comes out on the 10 of Pentacles. Make sure you're really setting your boundaries during this time. And yes, give of yourself, but don't overdo it. Don't lose who you are just because it's the holiday season, right? Don't lose your head. And make sure, and I don't want you to be defensive. Like, don't get all super defensive. I just think healthy boundaries are necessary. See? 5 of Pentacles, or 5 of Wands on the 6 of Pentacles. During the chaos, make sure you're staying balanced. Remember to ask yourself, the 6 of Pentacles is always asking, where are you giving your energy? Are you giving it to people, places, things, situations that are giving back to you? Or are you giving your energy away to people, places, and situations that are just taking advantage of it? Ask yourself that question too, right? And just because family is blood related doesn't mean that we have to bend over backwards all the time to take care of them or to do what they want. Because I feel like a lot of people have recognized and realized it's like their eyes have opened up. They've gone through the awakening process, and they're not the same people they were last year during Thanksgiving. And they're going to see all these relatives, or they're going to, show up at their parents' house and be somebody completely different than they were last year. And everybody's just going to kind of like eyes wide open and go, well, that's different, right? Just know that you're on your path. Hold true to who you are, because when we get around family and we get around chaos and fighting, and maybe not even fighting, but just a lot of chaos, we can tend to lose ourselves. Don't hold on to the burdens of what you're having to release right now. You may still have remnants. I call them shards of glass. Like when you drop a glass on the kitchen floor and you think that you picked up all the glass, but in the middle of the night, one night, you walk into the kitchen and the tiny little sliver of glass gets into your toe. I feel like there are little shards of glass left over that some people still kind of have to release and let go of. And the reason why they're not is because it's such a burden. But the thing is you're still fighting for that equality. You're still having to keep, your like the boundaries that you have up right now are maybe a little bit more than they should be. Like you want to have these boundaries up, but are you overdoing the boundaries? Do you have like a brick wall up instead of like maybe a wooden fence, because it's harder to take down a brick wall than it is a wooden fence. Healthy boundaries are good. Don't overdo it. Yes, the 10 of Wands on the 8 of Cups, walking away is kind of a burden. Learning who you are is kind of a burden. And then speaking that truth is kind of a burden, especially when we have to be around people that may not completely 100% who we've changed into, or 100% understand who we've changed into. The emotional, so we have the King of Cups and the Moon on the Lovers. Look at that. I think the Gemini full moon is going to bring a lot of emotional maturity, because the King of Cups represents Scorpio. But It also is a person who has a lot of emotional maturity. And if you're getting together, you know, the Lover's card can also be about making choices and having to make choices in relationships or situations. And the Moon is about not always showing all your cards, right? So there may kind of have to be sort of a facade during this time in the next 5 days, because you don't necessarily want to show all your cards. You don't necessarily want to tell everybody your business. You don't necessarily, you know, you're holding your own in a very steady way. So be very discerning, be emotionally mature, and very discerning about what you allow other people to know about what's going on in your life right now. Because I feel like keeping healthy boundaries is going to prevent chaotic circumstances. Keeping healthy boundaries it's going to prevent people attacking you out of just like the pure feeling of wanting to attack people, you know? So I think this is very telling on what this full moon is going to bring to us. It's going to bring us an emotional maturity where we can get together with family, and even if there is a little bit of chaos going on, or even if, you know, Uncle Tom is saying all sort, like say you grew up in a family of Christians, you know, you grew up as a Christian, and now you think more on the Buddhist side, and Uncle Tom really doesn't like that because, you know, he's a hardcore Christian, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with being a Christian. I grew up Christian. But Uncle Tom may not totally understand that because he's 75 years old, and some people don't ever really open their minds up completely to all other ideas, religions, you know, the way that people want to live their lives. Because I know in my life that I've finally surrounded myself with people that do get me. And regardless of what their backgrounds look like, or what they believe in, or what their religious thought process is, they still accept me for who I am, right? And so keeping those healthy boundaries, the people that don't accept me for who I am, or who never tried to understand where I was coming from, or the path that I was taking, or what I was learning, those people have kind of moved out of my life. And there's, you know, I mean, I sent them off with love. I don't have any bitterness or rage or anger towards them, right? Because I do feel like there might be a tendency to be like, well, it's not fair that I have to act like somebody different just because they don't fully understand me. You don't have to act like somebody different. You just have to be emotionally mature about it and accept the fact that Uncle Tom doesn't know how. You know, he doesn't understand. And it's not like you can sit down in a 30-minute conversation and explain all of the concepts that you've learned in a year. So be the bigger person. And a lot of people are like, but I'm always the bigger person. So that means you're good. If you can be the bigger person without being bitter about it, good on you. You've leveled up. Let go of all the other bullshit. You don't need to hang on to that, right? It doesn't have to be a burden. It doesn't have to be a burden. It doesn't have to be chaos. Allow the energy to be a little more give and take. And I think that as Jupiter and the Sun conjunct this weekend, there will be an air of, wow, I've come full circle. A lot of people have come full circle in their life in the last year. A lot of people woke up. A lot of people are still waking up. This is still a very potent time to wake up. And I think there's a lot of light being shed on who you can trust in your life and who you just need to keep boundaries up with, because they're never going to fully 100% understand you. Yeah, 3 of Pentacles. The light is going to be shed on who's on your team. The 3 of Pentacles is all about teamwork. It's all about being guided by your soul group. So, beautiful cards. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Oh, look at that. All the love, all the love. 2 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Page of Cups, the Fool, Three of Cups, and the Star. Oh man, you guys. So amazing. Such great cards. And this is kind of what I'm saying. If the family aspect of what you're going through this weekend or this week isn't 100% something that makes you feel really, really good, keep your boundaries up. Because as the energy shifts into Sagittarius season, there's so much love and so much prosperity. The energy of love and abundance is huge right now. And I want everybody to grab that train, grab that chariot, the tail end of the chariot, and ride it. Because with the Page of Cups and the Fool, lots of new beginnings. And it's like these new beginnings are being offered to you in such a small way that it's not going to be overwhelming. It's not going to be intense. It's not going to be like, oh my God, I'm drowning in still waters of Scorpio season. No, this is more of kind of an innocent, maybe an apology, maybe an acceptance. Really allow this kind of energy to wash over you, of being accepted and knowing that there is a new beginning on the horizon. And if you've already started that new beginning, it's like tiny, like smaller new beginnings are popping up right and left because you've already like taken that road. You've already started trekking down that road. So now there's like other smaller opportunities that you can grab onto are popping up. And watch the celebrations and the magic of the season just explode. With the Star and the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is all about celebrating, coming together. The Star is healing. So I do feel like there is an element of healing around everybody right now because they've really seen what no longer was resonating with them and that they had to let go of in order for them to get everything they want. And even if that thing that they had to let go of comes back later, for now, it's time to focus on the best parts of yourself. And don't allow the energy of other people who don't 100% understand you. Because let's be real, when we get into family situations, it's hard to not fully understand everybody, right? I mean, your family's never really going to fully understand you. That's just all there is to it. Because everybody is different. Maybe there's one or two family members that truly do understand you, and that's cool. But even friends, you know, maybe your friends, you've lost some friends this year or had to walk away from some friends this year or something, whatever it is. And if it's not even a family situation, if you're recognizing that there are just people in your life that don't resonate with you anymore, maybe there are some people that are spending Thanksgiving on their own. Honestly, a lot of people wish they could spend Thanksgiving on their own and they can't, right? So, take this time and this opportunity to build your own family, to have your own soul group. You know, let that happen. Because family's not always blood related. And sometimes the best families are made and not a lineage, a bloodline lineage, right? I love this. Judgment and the Knight of Pentacles. Steady, steady, steady as it goes. But the universe is saying, I'm taking care of you right now. As you move into more prosperous times, as you move into more new beginnings and more celebrations, just know that the universe is taking care of you. Because there's been this call to action for those who are ready to walk their path. Their true path, their true soul path. All right, guys. That is my reading for today, my general reading. I will get back to the general readings for the signs next week. Thank you so much for everybody's patience, kindness, love, acceptance. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving if you're in the States. If you're not in the States and you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, have a fantastic and wonderful weekend, and be really, really good to yourselves, and remember healthy boundaries, and remember to allow yourself to feel really good right now. And if you keep on getting like headbutting with assholes out there, just be kind. And because sometimes kindness is the best way to kill to kill that asshole quality out of somebody. I'm just saying. Kill them with kindness, right? Kill them with kindness. All right. I love you guys. Bye.